Hello investors, welcome back to Market Weekly Update. With me, Ton from Kittybuy, FISG, or InterStellar Group. Let's start with the gold prices. Looking back at last week, we saw that gold prices had the potential to form a flag or bear pattern. The price has fallen below the support level at around 2,000. The price in the market has pulled back up last week, and we can see that gold prices rose back to around 27.16, briefly breaking above it, but couldn't hold. The price then dropped again. This week, we still see a short-term channel that remains in an uptrend, just like before. However, since it hasn't passed 27.16 USD per troy ounce, gold prices aren't doing too well. So we need to watch for the opportunity when gold prices close below 26.31, as that would confirm that the price direction might test the important support level below at around 25.50. As for the resistance level above, if it's going to rise to the all-time high around 27.50, 27.80, it's necessary to close above 27.16 first in every week going forward. We're still looking at a short-term channel that remains in an uptrend. However, since it is below 27.16 USD per troy ounce, gold prices aren't doing too well. So we need to watch for the opportunity when gold prices close below 26.31, as that would confirm a test of the support level at 25.50. As for the resistance level above, if it's going to rise to the all-time high around 27.50, 27.80, it's necessary to close above 27.16 first weekly. Now, let's update on the US stock market, starting with the Nasdaq, that the direction of the gold price will have a chance to go down to test the important support level below at 25.50. As for the resistance level above, if it is going to go up to the all-time high at 27.50, 27.80 and above, it is necessary to close above 27.16 first in every week from now on. Next, let's update on the US stock market, starting with the Nasdaq. Because the fundamental factors are overvalued, we often talk about the Buffett indicator. Taking the market cap and dividing by real GDP, it exceeds 200%. Thus, a market correction is likely. Statistically, the price of the Nasdaq index is over 2 standard deviations. Reaching 2 standard deviations often leads to a severe correction. Investors without a low-cost basis should reduce their portfolios. The US dollar remains strong. Resistance is at 106.2 to 107, unlikely to break. Support is below at 99.8. The price of the Nasdaq index rose 2 standard deviations. Often when it reaches around 2 standard deviations, it can cause a market correction. So for investors in the US stock market without a low-cost basis, we suggest reducing your portfolio. Regarding the US dollar, it remains strong. Resistance is around 106.2 to 107, and it may not break through. Support is at 99.8. Medium-term dollar strength should continue. Next year, dollar weakening is more likely than strengthening. Discussing the US dollar, it remains strong. Resistance is at 106.2 to 107, and it likely won't break easily. Support is at 99.8. Medium-term dollar strength continues. Next year, dollar more likely to weaken. This week we'll encounter interest rate or Fed and BOJ policy on December 18th. In the medium term, we believe that the trend of dollarization will continue. In the future next year, there is a greater chance that the dollar will weaken than strengthen. Now let's see what we'll encounter this week. The first thing we need to look out for is the interest rate or the monetary policy of the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Japan, BOJ, which will take place on December 18th. The next part on the same day, there will be an announcement of the US core PCE figure. This core PCE figure will be related or have a relationship with the inflation rate that the US Federal Reserve uses as a figure to keep an eye on. The forecast figure is that there will be a decrease in the inflation figure or core CPE. So if the inflation figure decreases, any asset that, or is it important to inflation, any price that increases due to inflation has a chance of decreasing. And this is the weekly market update from Giddick with FIHG.com, wishing all investors good luck in this last month of the year. Goodbye.